Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my science class. We were discussing the chapter Changes Around Us. This is the second part of the chapter. In the previous part, we have studied the different type of changes that are occurring around us, and we have, by few of activities, we have found that the changes can be grouped as reversible and irreversible. So, in the previous turn, I have told you to complete this activity or the table. Now, let us discuss what are these changes reversible or not. Raw egg to boiled egg, yeah, whether it can be reversed or not. Raw egg to boiled egg, it cannot be reversed. Now, the next is batter to idli. It cannot be reversed. It is also an irreversible change. Now, wet clothes to dry clothes. Can it be reversed? Can these dry cloths can be changed into wet clothes? Yes, they can. Now, woolen yarn to knitted yarn, knitted sweater. Yes, we can again bring this knitted sweater to woolen yarn. Now, grain to its flour. Can again the flour be converted into grain? No, we cannot convert. Now, cold milk to hot milk. Can we convert it again to cold milk? Yes, by cooling it. Now, straight string to a coiled string. Yes, we can convert. We can again stretch the string to make it straight. Now, bud to flower, whether it is reversible or irreversible, it is irreversible. We cannot change the flower into bud again. Now, milk to paneer, no, it cannot be. Cow dung to biogas, it is also an irreversible process. Next is a stretched rubber band to its normal size. Yes, we can change it. An ice cream to molten ice cream. Yes, we can change. So these are the reversible few of the changes which can either be reversed or not. So the changes which can be reversed are called as reversible changes, while the changes which cannot be reversed are called as irreversible changes. Now, let us move to the next section of the chapter. Could there be other ways to bring a change? So let us see how can we bring change. We all have seen the tools which are used to dig the soil. Have you ever seen how the iron blades in these tools is fixed to the wooden handle? Have you all seen these tools? And do you know how this wooden handle is fixed in these tools, in these iron tools? This is the wooden handle and all these parts are made up of iron. So do you know how this iron blade is fixed in the wooden handle? The iron blade of these tools has a ring in which the wooden handle is fixed. Normally the ring is slightly smaller in size than the wooden handle. Normally there is a ring, and through this ring the wooden handle is passed and then it gets fixed. And this ring, it has a size slightly smaller in size than the wooden handle. Then how is it possible? If it is smaller and the wooden handle is larger, it will not move inside this ring. So how a blacksmith fixes it? To fix the handle, the ring is heated and it becomes slightly larger in size, expands. So there is a quality of metals that they expand on heating. They become slightly bigger when they are heated. So what a blacksmith does, he heats the iron. What happens? It expands and quickly he inserts this wooden handle into it and then cools it down. After cooling, the ring again shrinks and it fixes tightly with the wooden handle, and in this way these um, tools are made. Now the handle easily fits into the ring. When the ring cools down, it contracts and fits tightly on the handle. Such a change is also used for fixing the metal rim on a wooden wheel of cart as shown in figure 6.7. The same process is used in fixing this iron rim on a wooden wheel. This iron rim is slightly smaller than the size of this wooden wheel, but first it is heated. So what happens on heating? It expands slightly, it is fixed, the wooden wheel is fixed, and then it is cooled. So what happens? It fits tightly. The iron rim fits tightly into the wooden wheel and provides strength to the wheel. Now on heating, the rim expands and fits onto the wheel. Cold water is then poured over the rim, which contracts and fits tightly onto the wheel. When we heat water in a pan, it begins to boil after some time. If we continue to heat further, the quantity of water in the pan begins to decrease. So now, when we heat water in a pan, what happens? It starts boiling and then its quantity decreases. Why its quantity decreases? Because of evaporation. On heating, water converts into water vapor and this process is called as evaporation. So the water changes into its vapor. In activity 7, chapter 5, you have observed that water vapors gets changed into liquid water when it is cooled. And when we cool this water vapor, what happens? It changes back to liquid water. And this process is called as condensation. So we all have noticed melting of ice. Ice melts when it is heated. What does it change into? Ice melts on heating and it converts into water. Is it possible to change this water back into ice? Can we convert water into ice? Yes, we can convert by cooling it. So let us observe some more changes. So what we have observed, that we can bring a change by heating an object or by cooling an object. Now Paheli wants to know if you have ever seen a blacksmith making some tools. How does a blacksmith changes a piece of iron into different tools? A piece of iron is heated till it becomes red hot. It then becomes soft and is beaten into a desired shape. What changes has taken place in iron on being heated? On being heated, what happens? First, it is becoming soft. That means the solid is converting into, the state is changing. Solid is slowly converting it into liquid form. Secondly, by beating, they are changing the shape of iron. So these are the changes that occur when iron is heated. Now activity 7. Take a small candle and measure its length with a scale. Now fix it at a suitable place and light it. Let it burn for some time. Now blow out the candle and measure its length. So what you have to do, you have to take a candle and you have to measure its length, and then you have to light it. What will happen? It will burn, and after some time, say about half an hour or an hour later, you have to blow it out and then measure the length again. Will there be any change in the length? Yes. What will happen? Its length will be reduced, or it will be lesser as compared to the length an hour before. Now can you tell me, can the change in the length of the candle be reversed? Can you reverse the length? Can you increase the length? No, we cannot. This is an irreversible change. Now, if we were to take some wax in a pan, you have to take some wax in a pan and heat it. Can this change be reversed? You have to heat it. What will happen? The wax will melt like this. And can this change be reversed? Yes. When you will cool it down, it will again change back into the solid state. So this change is reversible, while the change in length of the candle is irreversible. Now repeat activity 7 with an incense stick. Wait till it burns away completely. You have to repeat this activity with an incense stick. Incense stick is agarbatti. And you have to wait till it burns completely. What are the changes that occur in the incense stick? The stick burns to produce some new material. These are ashes and some gases. We cannot see these gases, but we can sense them due to their pleasant smell. Can this change be reversed? And what about the change which occurred in the matchstick you used for lighting the candle or incense stick? So we have observed here in this activity also, and in case of incense stick, what happens? When you burn an incense stick, it turns into a black colored substance, that is ash, and it also produces some gases. So this change is irreversible in nature. You cannot change the ash and gas back to the incense stick. And also a new substance is being produced. The incense stick is being converted into a different substance. So this type of change is irreversible, and also because a new substance is being formed, so this change can be called as a chemical change. When a new substance is not formed and we can reverse it sometimes, then the change is a physical change. Like here, when you melted the wax, it got when you heated the wax, it converted into liquid wax, but the material was the same, that is, it was wax only, and by cooling it we can get the wax, solid wax again. So this is a reversible process, and this is a reversible change, and this change is a physical change, while the change here which is occurring, it is burning, the candle was burning and the wax got converted into light energy and heat energy, as well as very little of ash. So gas is produced here and heat and light is produced. So this was a chemical change. In the same way, the incense stick converted into ash and gases, fumes, it was also a chemical change, because and these chemical changes are irreversible in nature. So students, we have studied about the different reversible and irreversible changes, as well as the physical and chemical changes. So that's all for today. In the next part, we will discuss the different changes further. So thank you, students.